Catus Maximus here. This time with a review of the half-inch compact head quick release ratchet from Performance Tool. This is actually, I picked this up 30% off on a Super Sunday at a local homegrown auto parts store. And actually the whole reason I picked it up, besides the ratchet addiction, is because it looked real similar to the OG, 10-year-old plus Duralast compact head ratchets. It is definitely a different forging because, of course, we can see that not just a different switch, but it's also inset. So different forging, but everything else looks almost identical, from just the shape of the quick release, the machining on the anvil, although you can see that the finish on this Performance Tool isn't quite as nice as the Duralast. I think the Duralast was just either a more expensive version, or just simply, since it's so much older than the Performance Tool, that they were simply made a little bit better. But they look like they're coming out of the same factory, just a little bit cheesier. 72 tooth, non-rebuttable like the Duralast. The only thing that's really kind of going for this Performance Tool is the fact that it is a compact head ratchet. We can see how much smaller it is than what we say is a bog standard half-inch drive. It's definitely a bit shorter. Maybe if we match it up this way, you can, that makes it a little bit more of a difference. Definitely is a pretty small head. What we have here is a 19mm impact socket. We can see the head is almost the same size as that socket. So definitely pretty compact. Switch is definitely a bit stiff. Probably will break in a little bit. 72 tooth. Not a lot else to really say. Besides, I like the fact that they use a smaller diameter post for the quick release. It does have good protrusion, and it actually is pretty rigid. Some of these quick releases just push in super easy. They just end up being like a ball detent. And the fact that this coating, for some reason, kind of wants to rub off on this one, which is a form of carburization. Besides that, anvil play is actually pretty tight like it is on the Duralast. So anyway, it seems that Performance Tool is now getting some ratchets made by the same contract manufacturer that made these old Duralasts. They're just not quite as nice, not quite as low profile, of course, because the switch on the old Duralast, once again, is reassessed where this one isn't, and has the same unfortunate property of being essentially permanent install. And for those curious, there's two ways that they do it. There's either the ratchet pawl itself is actually pushed in, and there's actually a shelf in there that the pawl or a channel kind of rides in, preventing the anvil from coming out. But this is pretty tight. And somebody else had mentioned that this actually may be undercut, and there may be a snap ring that they can press and then push into there, and then once it seats into the undercut and the ratchet body, it will never come apart. This is such a shame to make a ratchet that you can't ever take apart. They do claim a lifetime warranty on this ratchet, but getting a warranty out of Performance Tool is pretty difficult because you have to pay to ship the ratchet to them and then have them determine if they're going to replace it. So I would only ever buy Performance Tools like this if you can get it for 13 bucks like I did on this one. But at least it's a cheap option out there for somebody who's likes half-inch drive and just runs into a variety of situations where they just need something that's a lot smaller than what would be a bog standard. Kind of nice that way because you can get a half-inch drive ratchet in areas where the 3/8 drive ratchet head would normally fit. You just get a little bit more strength there. Anyway, really appreciate everybody who's been watching and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Till next time, Catus Maximus out.